Wow. That's interesting. Hello, everybody. Tom Caldabiano. Let's see if that... Why does that not want me to go live? Let's go here. Yes. Go live now. Awesome. Everybody loves Raymond 360. Tom Caldabiano here. Talking all things. Everybody loves Raymond. We're going to taste something. I don't know what's in here. Hopefully something. Right before I went live, I hit live and it said, you've lost your connection. Start this. You've lost your connection to Facebook, which would not be good. But, you know, what are you going to do? Let's see this. Let's see this. Hello, everybody. Let's click settings. Let's see what we got here. Is that, yes, everything looks like it's working well. Hello, everybody. Yes, hi, Tom and friends. Yes, hi, Linda. Good to see you all. I don't have a second screen. Do I have one in here that I could hook up? No, not really. Okay, let's see everybody on. Wow, my glasses are really schmutzed. Yes, hello, hi, Allison. Yes, Allison Janney. What is that your hint? Hello, bread man from Allison Janney. Is that your hint that you want more bread? Because good luck with that. No, actually, you know what? I made bread. I don't have anybody. I'm in the studio. And I don't have anybody to bring me my bread. Let me just check all of my stuff. Yes, text messages here, all this stuff. Yes. We have so much to go over. It is the I love when I edit because I enjoy the non-talking, but for you guys, it's very painful. Let's just say hi to a couple of people before I jump into it. Hi, Kim. The start of hurricane season down. So, Kim, you know, we see your comments, but you have to refresh people where you are because if it's hurricane season, that tells me you're in the south. I know where you are, but you're in the south somewhere and you're getting ready for some delightful weather coming up to potentially blow your house off its foundation. Yes, the bread making video. Linda, when was the last bread making video? Did I do it with Denny, the fancy schmancy Leica photographer? I think that was. Tom, when did the episode where Deborah drops the turkey to the floor? Was that impromptu or was it in the script? Yes, the questions keep going. I will answer that question. Let me say hello to a couple of more people. Sounding good, everybody? Good, awesome. Yeah. What you're seeing me think, okay, let me do this. Let me just get all of this. Here is my tea. Hold on one second. Here is my tea out of my mug, and it is a green tea. And then, as a backup, I have, of course, coffee, full caffeinated coffee out of our favorites quotes mug. There we go. If you're going to get rid of me completely, there it is. Holy crap. Nice. I tried it once, didn't care for it. I love you there. I said it. AIS, of course. All, for those of you that are new joining us, all the fans voted on their favorite quotes. Then we laid it out in a very artistic way. So even if you didn't know what, if you couldn't speak English, let alone Raymondese, it's just an attractive looking mug. So I forgot to take honey. I've been exceptionally busy talking a lot. So hopefully we can make it through this session. Hi, Mona. You will be popping in and out. Not feeling very well. Sorry to hear that. I have to feed my little dog. By the way, Ray and Deborah on the King of Queens right now. Let's talk about that subject as well. Where's my notepad? What do I have? I have keys, a flashlight, a little bread knife. I wish I could text somebody here to bring me some bread. to taste my bread. A little tool. This is a Allen wrench type of setup that a camera person will have. So let's talk about one thing at a time. The turkey thing. A question for people who have just joined us, because again, we've been doing this for 5 years. We've all been meeting here, having fun on a Sunday, starting during COVID. I'm looking for a place to put my tea bag. Okay, have to figure that out. The turkey scene. So the turkey scene was 100% scripted, planned, worked out. Patricia Heaton, and I've prefaced this before. When you're a fan and you're watching it, you're like, she is brilliant, which she is. And this doesn't take anything away from it that it was scripted, because she performed it better than you could ever expect. And we used to say that when you're a writer and you write something and you go, oh, now I see it with the actors performing it, and it's 1,000 times better than you could write it. And your words in the hands of somebody who's not nearly as good of an actor is going to be terrible. So that was 100% scripted. And again, it comes up a lot where people are like, did the actors ad lib a lot? And I have Ray, when he was a guest here, I think we filmed that in New York, and he said, he was very emphatic, zero ad libbing. So there's so many reasons for it. So it has nothing to do with the brilliance of the actor. It has everything to do with camera blocking and all these technical things. You can't just go off the script because you have a number. Do I have a script here? I always have a script. Hold on. Let's see what this is. What is this? Steven Scrovan. Oh, All I Want for Christmas episode. Let me see if this is numbered. No, this isn't numbered. Okay, but here's the script. Here's the inside of a script. When I was looking for numbered, it's not page numbers. It's on this side. I have another script there. I don't think it's numbered either. On this side, on every single line, it'll say line 1, 2, 3. You guys know your numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way up to however many numbers there are. And when the camera crew and the audio guy and the lighting guy, they don't sit there and go, when Ray says that funny line, that makes me laugh. They go, line 73, where are we? Lighting is on, whatever it is, C7. The camera, 4 cameras here. He has a single here. The switcher, who is the woman who sat in and showed what the studio audience saw on the monitor, they all are coordinated at the same time. So you couldn't have Patricia Heaton going, you know what, I'm going to try and wing something and go over here. Everybody would be lost, and it would be like, hey, Patty, that was brilliant, but we don't have it on 2 of the cameras because you went outside of camera blocking. So that's why when she dropped the turkey and did it beautifully, we knew what was happening. We didn't know she was going to slip on the floor perfectly and just execute it, with comedic genius. But we knew what was going to happen. So there you go. So it's more of, because people, I think, get defensive of the actors as if we're saying, they don't make anything up. They can't do anything funny. Well, of course, they're doing everything funny, but a lot of people relying on a very specific cue that comes to a very specific line. Okay, I hope that helped. She is brilliant. Yes, love that episode. Okay, let me catch up. See, this is the problem with this is called a good problem to have. Okay, yes, Mona, everybody's saying, hope you feel better. I agree. Hi, Charlotte, North Carolina. Hello, Marshfield, Massachusetts. So many different places. Loved the turkey thing. Yes. Loved the turkey scene. Yes. A phenomenal turkey scene. Everybody joining. Tom Culpin here, writer on Everest Raymond. I was behind the scenes, but you would have seen me in Captain Nemo as one of the basketball players. I introduced Marv Albert in Recovering Pessimist. And then Phil Rosenthal needed photos for the end of Robert's wedding. And was it Robert's wedding? Yes, I think it was Robert's wedding. And so I'm on camera with my camera because Phil's like, take pictures for the wedding. But instead of being in the way, you are the cameraman for the wedding, which I did not get a separate fee for because I had no lines. So hello, William Emmerich. Was it a real 20-pound turkey? I'm going to have to ask Rhonda in props. Hold on. Oh yes, caffeine. You know what? Let's do this. Watch this. This is what's called living in the moment. Let me see. Okay, great. Period. Maybe we will try you later at a specific time. Period. I'm on live now, and I have a question. Was the turkey that Deborah dropped a real turkey? Question mark. And did you have to grease it? Question mark. There we go. Texting Rhonda to ask her the question. Okay, here we go. Hi from the UK. Can I ask, when recording in a studio, how many scenes could the stage accommodate? I ask because some of the scenes looked huge. Huge. I don't pronounce the H, from New Jersey. I don't think. Like the store where Frank argued with the grocery assistant. Yes. Hello, Graham Whittle. Yes, you've asked some great questions in the past. Okay. I have not forgotten about the King of Queens subject, but I will. Here, let me just see. I have my pen. Here's a script. What is this? This is another addendum to a script. Oh, this is the opening title. Oh, wow. Could this be? Yeah, I think this is. I'm not going to keep this from you guys. I'm just, let me see. Okay. Yeah. How awesome is this that I just found? Okay. What is Tom looking at? That says opening title. So that means that's the one that says they're coming. And so help me out, everybody. Does this look like the outfits they wore when they crossed the street and Marie puts her hand through the mail slot? Okay. They're coming with the Ode to Joy, is it? Oh, yeah. So these guys are outside. Look at this discovery. How exciting is that? Great. Madeline Sweeten there. Okay. And I think the twins were on a, he threw the twins. Raymond threw the twins, right? So there you go. Were the twins dressed like that? Nice. A little cough for you guys. Where is, oh, here we go. Sorry, everybody. Hi, close up to the camera. This is called a pad. All right, let me write this so I don't forget. Top secret stuff. Get rid of that. Yes. So, Graham, here's, let's write this note. Yes, the stage was able to accommodate everything. So the grocery, you're talking about Frank's Grandpa Steele's episode where they recreate a supermarket. And that happened in the back left corner of the stage where Frank and Marie's house usually would be. I'm trying to visualize it. Can I bring it up quickly? Let me see. Did that stall out? What season? If you tell me what season that was, season 5, season 6, I could bring it up quickly. But yes, it was able to, the stage accommodates everything, not Robert running from the bull, but the whole grocery store was set up for Grandpa Steele's. And when for Grandpa Steele's, when they said cut, after they were done, everybody got to go in the grocery store and take what they wanted of fresh produce. I forget what they were able to return because you can't restock fresh produce. So it was like a double payday of being able to do that. Okay, let's see this. Now, okay, Rhonda is answering. Hello, Rhonda. Yes, it was a real turkey that she was throwing, and then I'm getting the bubbling. Vaseline and olive oil on that turkey. How gross does that sound? Vaseline and olive oil on that turkey. That sounds really, really gross. Okay, Graham, I hope I answered that. So yes, every single thing had to be shot on stage in front of the live audience, other than Bully on the Bus. When you're on the bus, that scene was an exterior. Robert running from the bull. The whole golf episode was inside the stage. Okay. That was, let me see. How can I do this? Let me go back. Am I live here? Yes. Okay. Sorry to have to do this, everybody. Wouldn't you have to sterilize everything after the turkey? Yeah. It's weird that nobody, hi, Lynn. Oh, am I not on Facebook? Oh, that would be terrible. So it said, let me just check this. Let me go over to Facebook and switch pages. So yes, you would think that you would have to. No, I am live. Okay, great. You scared me, Lynn. See that? Yes, you would think a lot of people who are watching. So let's put it this way. A lot of people could be in The Odd Couple as Felix Unger and super neat. And so they have a real problem. I think Deborah wipes the floor or something with tissue and then the table or something like that, which really grosses people out. And then from a safety reason, handling raw poultry is usually frowned upon. So did Patty Heaton have to wash her hands or do a full head to toe scrub after handling a turkey? I don't know. Rhonda would know. Rhonda would know more. So we will, that's a great question and a big concern of a lot of people. Okay. Let's see what we have. Let's keep going back to all these questions. Well, King of Queens. Let me just address King of Queens. So a lot of people, Tom Caltabiano here, by the way, writer on Everose Raymond. A lot of people are upset and they go, why is it Kevin James, his character is named Kevin, then is called Doug? It's so weird. Why would they possibly, are these people stupid? No. Everose Raymond was created many years before King of Queens. So Kevin James was just a funny stand-up comedian who was friends of Ray Romano, and Ray wanted to put him on the show. Phil loved Kevin James, thought he was funny, so he became one of Ray's friends on the show. Then Kevin got cast. It was not a spinoff of Raymond. Kevin got cast in a show called King of Queens. So it was not the situation that Ray had, which is Ray did Letterman, and then Letterman gave him a development deal. Then they found Phil Rosenthal, and Phil had the idea to do the show based on Ray's life. So that was a show inspired by Ray. King of Queens was just a show, and they cast Kevin James. I don't say that dismissively. I'm saying a lot of people are like, it was a spinoff of Raymond, and Kevin was a writer on Everose Raymond. Kevin wrote one script with me and Raymond. Is it Raymond and myself wrote a script? English people can correct me on that. So when there were crossover episodes, Kevin alone as Doug would appear, I think, as a delivery man on Lone Barone, which I think is a script that I wrote with Jeremy Stevens. But the cast of King of Queens never appeared on Everose Raymond. So a lot of people get confused. Patty, Ray, Doris, Peter, they were all, see, this is a phone call here. Watch this. Hold on, everybody. This is live. Hello, Victor. I'm actually doing my live Everose Raymond thing right now. Are you? Well, it keeps it real. Is there anything you want to say to the fans or anything? Or can I call you back? No? Okay, we'll just keep talking. Okay, I'll give you a ring back. All right. Okay. All right. Bye. All right. There you go. That's, you got to take your important calls, folks. You never know when you're going to miss an opportunity. Okay. Hi, Tom. Deb Tucker Frank from Phillipsburg, New Jersey. Another question. I'm very plaintively thinking about this. Hot Dog Johnny's. Hot Dog Johnny's, folks, is in New Jersey, out where Deb is from. Let me do this. Okay, Deb. Another question on Phil, your producer, right? The Phil, the creator of the show, executive producer. So many producer titles, gets very annoying. But Phil, just for those of you that are not in the business, Phil's the guy who was the head writer and ran everything. He was kind of like the general of the army that is Everose Raymond's army of laugh makers. Did he get his ideas or any of his interest in comedy from the greats Norman Lear, Carl Reiner, Gary Marshall, or Sheldon Leonard? Wow. Deb Tucker Frank, you are bringing in the holy, Trinity would be three, a lot of famous people. So yes, in the Everose Raymond book, which I don't see here in the studio, Norman Lear wrote the foreword to the book, the Everose Raymond Our Family Album book. And Phil very often talked about Carl Reiner, and he indeed became friends with Carl Reiner and Norman Lear, about Carl Reiner saying, you should write about your life. And so to write about your life, you have to live a life, which is why you wouldn't know it unless you're in the industry. Some shows have crazy hours. Some shows, one of them has 6 friends on it. You can guess what it is. They had crazy hours, like going home at 4 a.m., 3 a.m., hard to have a life. Phil was very much like, let's have a life, get into a fight with everybody that's in your family, come back, report that fight, and that will become an episode. So yes, Phil was very much a student of television and Norman Lear and Carl Reiner. And I know Gary Marshall as well, but I say Norman Lear and Carl Reiner were the big ones. And then Sheldon Leonard. Alexa, when did Sheldon Leonard die?
Sheldon Leonard died on January 10th, 1997 at the age of 89 years.
Okay, so Sheldon Leonard died in 1997 at 89. So he was not, Phil, I'm sure, was not able to meet him, et cetera. But great question, Deb. Fantastic. Tom Caltabiano here. Writer on Everett Raymond. Hi, Karen Jack. You are forgiven. I was late. I saw a really nice post about Patricia Heaton earlier. If anyone wants to check it out, it was posted on Facebook page titled Good Old Days. Okay. I'm reading that. Yes, Kim, doling out forgiveness. Okay. Yes. Well, niceties back and forth. Sorry, everybody. Incredible. So much detail goes into each scene since the cast make it look so natural and effortless. Yes. So I think one of the reasons that being behind the scenes, you're like, wow, it's an amazing amount of work. Here, let me just bring up this and then let me go to this. I'm going to show a picture related to what we're talking about. Oh, I didn't do it on Instagram. That's a shame. Okay, so this photo, for example, when we're talking about, and again, I can do a fancy thing and bring it up, or I can do the manual thing and hold it up. Okay, so that is Ray and Deborah's bedroom. That episode, for those of you that were trying to guess, you thought it was the game, etc., but the ingrate, some of you guessed it correctly, the ingrate. But all of those people, I'm going to name them from closest to Patty, Tucker Cawley. It looks like Elizabeth Herring, Lou Schneider, who also played Snaps, Mike Royce, Steve Scrovan. In between them, sitting down, is Ellen Halpern, who's the script. She's the script supervisor, so she's in charge of continuity. The director, Gary Halverson, camera coordinator, Ken Shapiro, and then it looks like a writer's assistant, Frank Pines, writer, Jeremy Stevens, and Ray Romano, and then, of course, the lovely Patricia Heaton in her pajamas, which are not pink. So why am I holding that picture up? That's the normal huddle in between takes of going over every single detail. And the execution is done beautifully by the actors. The whole idea is for you to think that this is a real family. And I will say this, some people are like, oh, I don't want to see it because I want to think they live in a real house. I was there and I saw all the behind the machines, the making of the sausage, and I watched the show and completely get lost in the show. I don't sit there and go, there's cameras all around and this, I'm in the house, you're eavesdropping on this couple fighting. So yes, a lot of detail that it takes. Okay, let me go back. Hi, Deb. See, this is like we're all hanging out together. I usually have a second monitor here, so I'm usually looking up there. The episode of Robert feeling sorry for himself after being attacked by the bull, Raymond went into Marie's living room to talk to him. When Ray came out and slipped and ran into the door, was that planned or an accident? Hi, Deb. Yes, that I believe was an accident. I don't think there's any reason, knowing that when you're writing a script, everything is scripted. So in other words, my that I just did, that would be scripted. Do we do it? But that would be scripted. So the cadence, and the best way I can think of it is it's very much like music. So a musician does hear a note that's like, oh my gosh, that note is killing me. And I think when you write comedy, it's the same thing. You're like, you got to pause there. You have to pause or it's not funny. And you just hear it. You hear right or wrong. And I remember Ray and I doing stand up and Ray just being like, you got to stop. When you do that, you got to, it's almost offensive to hear the wrong timing. So just like a bad note. So with the slipping, there's no reason to put in Ray slips when he runs to the door. I know, you're saying, well, why not? You're talking about all the other details. That's something that doesn't really add to the scene per se. So when I've watched that, I think Ray just slipped and they kept it in. I combined that too. Great question. I'm loving all of these questions. Okay. Here we go. Whose idea? Yes, that was hi, Janet. Who wrote that episode? Whose idea was it for Ray to play Peter's harmonica? The writer of the episode is, I'm guessing. What was that? Was that a date for Peter, or was that Peter on the couch when Ray has to rinse it? It's funny because I couldn't even remember the scene, and then I found a photo of me talking to Ray while he's holding the harmonica, rehearsing that on the scene. If you guys know usually it's the writer of the episode, even though every writer can contribute to every episode when it goes through the room. Yes, Patty not falling down. Yes. Although if Patty had fallen down completely, unless it seemed like she was hurt, they would have gone with it. They would have been like, keep rolling, and they might even yell, Patty, you okay? Keep rolling. So there you go. Hello, Anna Marie DeFonso D'Amelio or D'Amilo. Am I adding an I there? Hard to see. My glasses are so dirty. Wow. You could probably watch an eclipse of the sun with my glasses. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you for affirmation that it is live on Facebook. Lynn, I don't know what you watch that. Yes, breaking up. Okay, Linda. Let me see. Let me try from the quotes mug again. Here we go. Because I have a survey that I'm supposed to ask. Suitcase. Yes. Okay. We looked at this side. Don't let a suitcase filled with cheese be your big fork and spoon. Okay. As much caffeine as I can get in my body. When you last spoke about Ray and King of Queens, you said the best joke was actually yours. Wow. Okay, let me frame that a little, because that sounds almost pompous and bragging. But you couldn't remember when it was. Here it is. What do you think that guy was on parole for? I don't know. Now he has to add sexual assault to it. I don't know if that was my joke. So here, I totally appreciate that. So the King of Queens story, just for people to refresh their memories. I went to the King of Queens with Raymond, where I go a lot when I'm trying to help him write stuff. And there was they were the last joke, I think, of the show was mine. Because for me to say did you write last? Yes, the last joke. Okay, yeah. Now I have to apologize to Linda. Yes, the last joke. Sorry, I read it as the best joke, which sounds like bragging. They had done the scene. There's 4 cameras around. They start moving the cameras. I run up to Kevin and Ray and I go, what about this? And then Kevin goes, oh yeah, but let's do that. Bring the cameras back. So thank you if that was it. Because I can't remember the setup. What do you think that guy was on profile? I don't know, but he has to add sexual assault to it. Yeah. Okay. And did it get a laugh? Obviously, it got a laugh because they put it in. Thank you. So now, Linda Fly Lady, I owe you a written apology. Okay, Lynn, you can watch it now. I can't. Hi, Mona. I can't touch raw chicken or turkey unless I wear plastic gloves. Not a bad thing. Not a bad way. Hi, Deb. How many hours are rehearsed before going live? How many hours are rehearsed before going live? Okay, so Deb, are you saying how much do they rehearse on Ever's Raymond before they film it? Or are you talking about how much does Tom rehearse before he does this? I think we know that I do 0 rehearsing before I go this. And for the TV show, it started as a 5-day rehearsal, and then they got it down to 4 days rehearsal to shoot the show. So it's rehearsal every day, 4 days, or 5 days. I think by the end, because it was a well-oiled machine, everyone knew their character, everyone worked really hard to learn their lines. It went down to 4 days. So they would rehearse for 4 days and shoot on the evening of the fourth day. So there we go. By the way, a lot of, for those of you that have been watching forever, you know the answers to all of these. So, but I appreciate, as I've said, I think we have 20,000 new followers. Okay, a little refreshing. Tom Caldabiano here. I have a question. By the way, this was such a find. Again, I will post some of these Polaroids. The Polaroids don't get as much love as I would think. These behind the scenes Polaroids, which I saved from the dumpster, which is the wardrobe department, and the wardrobe department, of course, has even the clothes that are hanging up. Peter, Frank. Oh, that's Phil. I can tell that's Phil right there. That's his left arm. And there is, of course, Doris Roberts. Oh, you know what I do need help with? I need help people identifying. Hold on one second. Don't panic, everybody. Does anybody know which scene? This is a tough one. Let's see. Do this. Okay, we know this. So one of my dearest people in the world is the owner of the Hermosa Beach Comedy Magic Club. So after it was Raymond ended, I went down to Hermosa Beach in California, south of LAX, and I brought a bunch of wardrobe. We know what I'm holding. That's Patty's from PTNA, the PTNA episode. And Frank's outfit, but I don't know. And that's Ray's shirt. Hold on, let me do this. Don't go away, everybody. This is Ray's, the first scene of the final episode. Ray is wearing that shirt. But does anybody know? I don't know if this is from the last scene. This is a Marie shirt, and we're having trouble figuring out what episode she wore that in. Let me do proper English. In which episode she wore this blouse? So if anybody knows, if anybody can tell me. So my initial thought was it's from the finale, because I have a couple of things from the finale, but I don't know. So if anybody knows that, let me know. What else? Yeah, here's Ray's shirt from this is easy. This is really identifiable. There we go. That's Ray's shirt. But I think these will be going to the Paley exhibit. Also, this is too hard to tell. Frank's, let me get rid of the reflection. Frank's outfit is just, there we go. It feels like it's the same in every episode, people. But if you know that, again, I'm going to show you one more time. Doris Roberts. Does anybody know what episode that was in? Because we're having trouble figuring it out. Okay, now here we go. Subject. Yes. So here's a survey, people. Let me go back. Let me catch up on some comments here. The blouse doesn't look familiar, and it looks like there's a pair of pants or jeans underneath it. Yes. Okay, Karen Edwards. Hi, Karen. Do you guys know? Let me see. Ray and Doug were bulls on a guy's night out, ended up getting beaten up. Yes. Okay. Yes, Linda, I do have that. Let me see. Watch this. This is. Oh boy. Okay. Let me think when this was. Hold on. November 2005. Is that possible? Do you guys know? Yes. Okay. So here is the beauty of digital stuff, let's say. So this is on my iPhone right now. That's one of the writers. Okay, come on. I'm pushing it close. Yes. There we go. That's a photo I took. That's one of the writers on King of Queens. Very funny, nice guy, Dennis Regan. Let me see. There I am with my friends. There's the outside of the stage. So they filmed that. There we go. That's at Sony. The Sony lot is where they filmed that. Oh, Pete Rose. Okay. Yes. So there we go. How fast was that to find a picture of that episode? And let's see. Wow. So many people on the spot. So that was filmed November 12th, 2005. Why don't I only have that? Okay. So there you go. Thank you. Yes, that was the episode. Now it makes sense. They got beat up. Now it sounds funnier. Now that I remember the tongue, the context. Ray also wore that red shirt in, hi, Thomas, in Talk to Your Daughter, Marie's Vision, and the finale. Now, Thomas, how do you know that? That's awesome. You're going to rival Donnell in incredible knowledge. So that's really good to know that that shirt was. Oh, you know what? Here, I can do this same thing. Hold on. Are you enjoying this? The live search, the anticipation. January 2005. Okay, so now January 2005 is when we shot. Oh, you want to see? This is one of my favorite pictures that I took of Patty. She did like a flourish as she walked by me as she was introduced to the audience. Okay, here, you want to see a never before seen photo? Here we go. Here's a never before seen photo. You guys, this is why I come here. Brad Garrett standing in Frank and Marie's kitchen. The fork and spoon are missing. They are missing. Okay. Behind the scenes. Wow. I'm scrolling through all these photos. I'm only scrolling through. Well, here's a picture that somebody took of me taking a picture. Okay. There I am on set taking a picture with my lens there. Okay. The final table read. Okay. I'm hoping what I was hoping for. Oh, interesting. This is very interesting. Send this. A close-up of the fork and spoon. All right, let me do a survey right now. There you go. The fork and spoon. Close-up. Yes, we all know that. Wow, this is just like reminiscing. This is very dangerous. Patricia Heaton in the arms of Parker, the disgusting Parker with his dirty mitts all over Ray's wife, when in fact that is David Hunt with his hands around his real life wife, Patricia Heaton. So that I took on stage. Very nice. Okay. Oh, here we go. This is the picture I was looking for. That didn't take long. Okay. This is the final episode filming. That is me speaking with Raymond. One of the twins is there. I have 3 cameras and Ray is wearing that. So Thomas, I'm going to have to believe you about those other episodes. So the sculpture episode, I don't know. I go to HBC and IMC and notice it a lot. That's very interesting. My aunt has the exact fork and spoon hanging in the kitchen. Phyllis, hi Phyllis, can you take a picture of that? I'd be curious because when you say exact, a lot of people think they have an exact. Like I would like to know if people have the exact couch that Ray and Deborah have, Frank's recliner, which brings me to, for those of you that are going great, there is a Paley exhibit. Okay. The Paley Center for Media in New York City used to be called the Museum of Radio and Television. William S. Paley, is it S? He was the president of CBS and a giant figure in television. So they have basically a foundation and a museum where they honor shows, TV, radio, etc. From June 13th through September 7th, if you make it to Midtown Manhattan, I believe it's 52nd Street near Fifth Avenue, they are having an Everose Raymond exhibit. So that exhibit, they're going to kick it off on June 16th. I think it's sold out in one day. A little live thing. Hopefully there'll be future events. I'm sure there will be future events. But some of the things that we're working on is, would you like to take your picture in front of the fork and spoon, the actual fork and spoon? Would you like to take your picture holding, okay, this is a genuine one, holding an Emmy, taking a picture of you holding an Emmy, I guess in a victorious stance. I don't know. something like that. But would that be of interest to you? I'm kind of taking an informal survey. How about sitting in Frank's chair in front of the living room backdrop, or I'm trying to think of what are the other options that the Paley Center is trying to put together. But let me know. Let me know in your comments what, if you had to pick one, standing in front of the fork and spoon, holding an Emmy, pretending you won an Emmy, or whatever you want to do. Taking a picture, sitting on a couch, and would you rather take a picture in front of Frank and Marie's kitchen, inside Frank and Marie's kitchen, or Ray and Deborah's living room? I know it's a tough choice. It might not even be an either or. But it's good to know. Okay, let me check out some of our comments. Wasn't there more than one? Yes, Karen, yes. Yeah, see, these are multiple choice questions. Sitting in Frank's chair would be great. Okay, the next word. Yes, and holding the Emmy. Yes, holding the Emmy. Oh, these are very helpful things. All right. You can comment. You can keep commenting on my Facebook page or wherever, because what is it? Holy moly, look at the time already. So what have we not covered here, everybody? I feel like I've barely been talking and we're almost out. Okay, let me look at Instagram. Yes, was Pat smoking a real cigarette? Yes. You need to make a website with all your pictures. Thank you, Gary. Yes. Why are there so many producers? Yes, Gary, I'm hitting all of your questioning. Victor, now you called. Victor, what's happening with your mustache? Oh, my live feed is frozen. I don't know why that is on Instagram. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Got to trim it more maybe or something. And a lot of comments about that. All right. Now, I don't remember, everybody. Did I taste? Okay, so here, for those who are new, Tom Calvino, writer on Everyone's Raymond. Inside the writer's room, we tasted cookies once, Oreo cookies, and close competition. And so every week I do take and rate a cookie. But did we, because I think somebody preloaded this, and I feel like we tasted this. Did we taste Jammy Dodgers, or did we taste a variation? Let me know, guys. Did we taste Jammy Dodgers, or did we taste a variation of Jammy Dodgers, which is there's like a dark blueberry or something like that? This has fruitier jam. Okay, because let me know, because I feel bad. I can't. I will eat these Jammy Dodgers. Don't get me wrong. They will not go to waste. Okay. Yes, sitting in Frank and Marie's chair or Ray and Deborah's kitchen holding the canister. Wow, holding the canister. That feels almost selfish. Holding the canister. How does that happen? I say that would be awesome. Holding the canister would be awesome. We'd have to make a replica, because I don't know if you guys, this canister was lent to me by Rhonda. She lent it to me for 1 week, and I have not given it back to her, and I usually try and hide it from her when I see her. But you can't have 2, 3, 5, 20,000 people handling the canister, because it will wear out. So we would have to make a very close facsimile to the canister. Let's think about that. We are going to think about that. Okay, let me see. I have seen you taste. Hi, Annabelle, who I trust. Okay, so I have seen you taste Jammy Dodgers. I thought it was a red filling. Okay, is this? Wow, is there? Yeah, this is a red filling. So there was another one. Let me see. Hi, Donnell. I missed the picture of Marie's blouse. Donnell. You're too important. I'm going to show it to you now. Hold on, Donnell. Let me just see this. Here we go. So I'm the one that took it from wardrobe. I just can't remember what episode it is from. And I will post this picture. There you go. Solving the mystery of Marie's thing. Okay. Canister in one hand, Emmy in the other. Yeah, that's just greedy. Let me see. Paley Center Rios, yes. Very nice, Gil. Just thrilled to be going to Paley Center. Photos with props would be extra special. Yeah. Believe me, I wish we could remake the show and have everything back together again. The red filling. So we're still back on that. Bob. Yes. Okay. Marie Sculpture. Marie's Sculpture. I think, sorry, I'm editing. The very reason that Marie's Sculpture was a controversial thing for Marie to give to Ray is the same reason that it might not be suitable for a museum where they show everything wise. Yes, the sport. Yes, Henry. Yes, that all works. Hold the Emmy in Marie's chair. Wow, you guys are really doing double. Let me see. The entire world of my house. Yes, Kim. Okay. Sitting with the canister in Frank's chair, or sitting with a canister with Ray and Phil. And yes. Wow, Mona. You guys have pushed it very far. Okay. So I don't know. Should I taste? We don't have Donnell, anybody. We don't have a definitive of whether I tasted a Jammy Dodger before. Because the thing is, I can't rank it twice. Yes, thank you, Phyllis. Take a picture and send it. Okay, I'm just going to have a snack now. For those of you that don't know, this is called for my American people, friends of fellow Americans. This is a Jammy Dodger. I never heard of it. By the way, I was also told recently, in the studio where we are, there's a British lad, and he's saying, what's your favorite Victoria sponge cake, or where? And I'm going to be honest, I'd never heard of Victoria sponge cake. And I talked to my friend who lived there, never heard of it either. And I know people right now are going, how is that possible? How can you live life without ever hearing of it? Because I've been to the UK many times, and even went with Phil for a food show in the UK. So it's not like I never left Arkansas and I don't know anything that's out there. Okay. Let me see. Yes, Karen, a Jammy Dodger with a different filling. Yes, you did. It was some time ago. So I think, I can redo. Thank you, Donnell. I think it was a different filling. I think it was, so they have a special edition. So here you go for my American friends. This is a Jammy Dodger. I guess you would call it a shortbread. So I'm just going to do this. Hold on. See, the problem is if I take a bite and act civil, I get crumbs everywhere. If I try not to and take it all in one bite, well, then I seem just like a pig. So here we go. So I don't know. By the way, hearing someone chew. Here we go. For those of you, this is a Jammy Dodger. Do you notice the detail in the O? And you can get them in a few places. So there we go. Pretty accurate, by the way. I'll show you what, and here's what it looks like with a human bite. See, it won't focus. It's going to focus on my fingers. Wow. As a monster bite for a small bite, even for me. See, it's just the right flavor balance. If you like this, again, you can't go. The problem with tasting this breadth of biscuit cookie / treat, when you get a bomb of chocolate, it's like, wow. So this is a more delicate flavor, but this is one of my favorite things in the world. I'm going to give this an 8.1 rating, the Jammy Dodger. It's phenomenal. Now, I don't think that might be my highest. I love these so much. We all have a palate. So I know people who don't like chocolate. I'm no longer friends with them, but they don't like chocolate. So what are you going to do? Oh, see, this is a bad sign. I left this unguarded here at the studio, and this is now the last Jammy Dodger. Okay, again, for those of you, there we go. That's the inside. That is the bottom. Wow. Why are these so good? Suspiciously good. Okay. Annabelle, higher than the Violet Crumble. What did I vote the Crumble? See, this is where I need to. I need fans to help out, start a spreadsheet, and keep track of them. And I have the numbering system. I just haven't put them up. They're on the canister because I've been so busy doing other stuff. All right. Sorry, everybody. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. Mm-hmm. And then she ate it. I feel like that's appropriate. I have to drink a little bit of. Yeah. So, Annabelle, the Violet Crumble was of another planet, delicious. So, I think what I'm going to have to do, we're going to narrow it down. Maybe at Christmas, we'll have like a final tasting for that year. And then we have comparative analysis, meaning I get to eat a lot of stuff. That's all that means. And if I decide that, okay, let me look at that. Is that better than a Violet Crumble? The Violet Crumble was, yes, phenomenal. All right, final questions, everybody, because again, we keep going. How many question marks do you have there, Annabelle? Okay, yeah, that's a lot of question. Okay, now let's see. Okay, Donnell, you've been tasked with the, yeah, this is, here we go. Here is the canister now. No lemon squares in there, nothing left in the canister. Holding the canister. Okay, let me think about how we actually do that. Paula, you've seen Jammy Dodgers here. You're not sure the other ones are called. The other ones meaning the other flavor or the Violet Crumble. So the, yeah, I just love the Jammy Dodger. It's not overwhelmingly sweet. It's got the perfect combination of strawberry or raspberry. It just really works for whatever you want to say. It really works. Okay. Yes. Why is the can the hot? Okay. Yeah. Annabelle, I didn't know that was outraged. All of those questions. Yeah. Bob Silva, I'm going to say the Jammy Dodger really lives in a world of its own. Are there cranberry seeds? No, Janet, I did not taste any cranberry seeds. Okay. Scrolling back now. Yes, Janet, the Violet Crumble. Now, there's also a dark. See, this is where you get into these heated debates that always break up families. But the Violet Crumble was phenomenal. The dark chocolate covered McVitie's is phenomenal. But don't get me reminiscing. All right, let me go back to Instagram. My image is frozen there, and I don't know why. Tom, do you know if the canister was a real life episode? Yes, shortbreads. Yes, exactly. It is shortbreads. Yes, or yes. Sorry, that's what started all. Sorry, everybody. The Oreos versus Hydrox argument. So there we go. All right. Final questions. We've covered Paley. I'm going to be on again next Sunday. We would like everybody to go for the summer. And hopefully there's another event coming up at some point. But you will see a lot of things in the Paley that you have never seen before. And again, it is a museum in Manhattan, and the exhibit runs from June 13th through September 7th. Okay, let's go to final questions before I say goodbye. And I got to clean my glasses because this is like, it's like looking through. If the dessert contains a food from the food pyramid, can we really call it dessert? Yes. Excellent point. There's a cookie in Canada that is similar. And that's, you know what? This British gentleman told me about this. And so this, I'm going to see if you guys can help out with this. He said there is a cookie that's phenomenal because we were talking about Victoria's sponge cake. Is that what it is? I know for you guys, it's like me saying a hamburger. What is it? A hamburger? Hamburger. He said it's called, my UK friends, Happy Face cookie, that biscuit that it emulates it a little bit, Victoria's sponge cake, but he said they have taken it off the market as a cookie you can buy. You have to buy it in some sort of pack. Okay, that's not. I don't think that's a good. Okay. Oh yes, this looks good. Sorry, folks. I'm just not. I'm going to hold this up to the screen. I just don't want to. Let me see. It's got to load. So I know you guys in the UK are gonna be like, yeah, Happy Faces. So apparently you can't get them anymore. Oh, I got a free offer for something. Let me just say yes to that. Yes to everything. So you can only get them now. Here we go. If you buy like a big variety pack. So here's what they are. So let me know if any of you guys know where we can get a hold of these. Happy Faces jam and cream biscuit. That looks delicious. So let me see. Hi, Karen. We have Happy Face biscuits, which are like Jammy Dodgers with cream as well as jam. Not as nice as Jammy Dodgers, though. Now, Karen, I trust you, but I would really like to taste it myself because it sounds like the perfect combination, cream and jam. So what is missing, Karen? We can talk offline, but I'm going to see if I can find it. But he said, and there's a store in New York called something of something, Keswick, Chiswick, something like that. And I don't know if you can get them there, but he said you have to buy. You get two in a giant variety pack. That's the only way to get them. So I have never seen them and never heard of them. So I will try and find them. All right, final questions. Yes. Do we get some sort of extra if we dress up as a character from a specific episode? Paley Center. I don't know. You might have just more security surrounding you, something like that. But a funny idea. Okay. Yes, Bob. Okay. I agree. Let me see. Let me go. There's yes, Janet, everybody. Okay. You think, okay, Donnell, you don't want to commit yet. You're worried. You're worried about committing and then it's not true, but we're all friends here. And I think that if you go, unless you tell us a secret location that we go to, and then they take all our money and we don't leave with a delicious biscuit, that would be bad. But any lead would help us. Oh, sorry, Donnell, are you talking about Happy Faces? Or are you talking about Marie's blouse? So I think you might be talking about Marie's blouse. All right, everybody, we will see you. Thanks for your vote about whether you want to hold an Emmy, sit in a chair. Everybody's saying the canister. I wish I had unlimited money, control, power, and the ability to get things done. But I don't have unlimited money or the control or the power, nor am I responsible. But I can suggest things because that would be very cool to have that photo. All right, everybody, thank you so much. Keep writing, keep spreading the word. We're going to post a lot more videos. The videos really take off. The one of our videos has almost 5 million views, which is a lot of views. See you guys next week. Thank you so much for all of your questions and playing along every week on the Ed Rose Raymond, everything you ever needed to know about everything in that was ever done in the show. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good week.